Pokemon. We all love him, and we've all got our favorites. Like, for example, mine's Turtwig. Objectively, the best of the Sinnoh starters, and yours could be any of the however many we're up to now that exist. But no matter which one you pick, almost every single one of them will end up looking the exact same every time you catch it. Well, what if that wasn't the case? Today we're going to be exploring what if Pokemon look different based on their abilities. If you don't know, I'm Ark, and welcome to the channel. Around here, I'm mostly making random videos and trying to fit in 3D modeling somewhere, as it's a hobby I've been enjoying and part of the reason I made this channel to begin with. I will admit, this idea I did steal from Nordist here on YouTube. They're a great Pokemon channel, and I'll be linking their original video and their channel down below so y'all can go check it out after this video. As for here today, we're going to be talking about why I love this concept so much, and also we'll be taking a look at it and applying it to Turtwig, who is my favorite of the Sinnoh starters and probably my favorite starter in the entire game itself. Now, as we've got these time lapses of making these forms planned, I'm going to yap about why I like this concept just so much. First off, I feel most times when you catch a Pokemon, they're the exact same. Now this can change if you catch a shiny, but we'll be getting into the couple of issues I have with shinies later. In the older games though, it did make sense as the sprites, you always had the same two angles to look at them, so if you started changing them too much, you would lose which Pokemon was which a bit. But as the games have evolved, so have the graphics, or at least they should have, but they have made the jump into 3D, which would make distinguishing them much easier. Now, while there are some Pokemon with different looks, most of them are very basic, like Arceus, Sinistea, Alcremie, but these are very negligible differences, and some of them, like Arceus's, are just based off what item they're holding, specifically the plates for him. And there's very few out there without any real differences in their looks. So most of the time they look the exact same, or in the 3D games they may have a size difference, but that's really all you're getting with them. What I really like about this ability form concept is it gives more looks for the same Pokemon, but they still feel like that same Pokemon. Some good examples of like Pokemon that kind of do this in the game are looking at Deoxys and Rotom. Both of these Pokemon have their different forms. Now, these are ability-based forms, but still, each of these forms, they still feel like the initial Pokemon, which is one thing I really like about these forms, and ability forms I feel like have to carry this through, or else you're just making a whole new Fakemon. If every Pokemon in the games had different looks like these, I feel like it would bring a lot more life into the game, and I know, at least for myself, I would be trying to get one of every type for every different form I could. Now, will this ever actually get implemented? Probably not, because it's a lot of work to add all these extra forms, and that is not something they've been putting into the recent games. Yeah, but one can hope and make their own versions as I'm doing now. Moving on to, though, my issues with shinies. I do in concept really like shinies, and I do like a lot of them. It's just that some of them are really bad. Whether that be they barely look any different, rest in peace Garchomp shiny, you can barely tell a difference, or if the colors just look bad in general. Otherwise, though, there's not too much difference. I feel it would be, though, cool to have multiple different shinies per Pokemon, with some being rarer than others. Would this potentially kill any shiny hunter, though? Yes. Does that matter to me right now? No, but overall I do like shinies, just not all of them. Now, moving on to the main subject of today is Turtwig. As you've seen in the background, I've been modeling him as well as two ability forms for him, Shell Armor and Overgrown. As to why Turtwig out of all Pokemon, well, he's my favorite, and it's my video, so I get to choose. No other reason. If you all want me to make more ability forms, drop some ideas in the comments and I may make a follow-up video. First off though, we have Shell Armor. For this form I wanted to make him feel a little like a mini tank. I borrowed some more armor plating as well as making him feel a bit closer to Groudle, but I didn't want to go flat out yellow for everything like we do see in Groudle. A bit lower and his head a bit lower, just because the armor would be weighing him down, but overall it's not too noticeable, so I doubt y'all would notice too much. Overall though, I do really like this armor, and honestly, decent form, at least for my first attempt at making an ability form. Next up, we're moving on to Overgrown. With this form, I want to give him a lot more leaves and vines and whatnot, as I feel like just overgrown, that kind of makes sense. I was debating making some of the plants look like flowers, but doing just the tree leaves and vines look ended up feeling a lot better than all the flowers, as the flowers just didn't really feel like Turtwig. And here we have Turtwig with his two final forms. Overall, I feel they both came out pretty well, especially for these being my first 3 attempts into modeling Pokemon. Except for the Cursed Wooper. We don't talk about the Cursed Wooper. He doesn't exist. With this though, we've wrapped up ability forms. If there are any other Pokemon you'll want me to make forms for, let me know, and if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time with whatever the next video ends up becoming.